Mea culpa. We'll get going here in a minute. Hi, I'm Jim Quanci, Senior Director, Developer Advocacy and Support at Autodesk. I run a team of folks who support software developers using Autodesk platforms, Autodesk APIs, whether that's desktop or cloud, Autodesk Platform Services, formerly Forge. This is our first inaugural APS Tuesdays, which you can drop into anytime, any Tuesday, and come talk to us. It is meant to be a basic introduction for newbies, but we will go as far as you want to go. And I will say we got a time limit. We will turn into pumpkins in an hour, and we'll see how far we can get and how much interest you have. So Autodesk Platform Services, again, I'm going to go through the basics. It's quick, 19 slides before we get into examples and hopefully hear from you on what you're interested in. Autodesk Platform Services is very much about digital transformation. It is a platform enabling customers to digitally transform their business. So if you are a customer or a customer's customer, definitely, this is about digital transformation. That is the big picture. And as we get into the details, you always have to come back to that. For those of you who are ISVs, third-party developers, definitely hopefully frame what you're doing, what you're thinking of doing with APS, with Autodesk Platform Services, around how you help customers transform their businesses. Okay, I did want to make sure you understand my team. It's made up of over 50 people. Speaking over 10 different languages. We are supporting people on a global basis. So wherever you happen to be, we're here to help you in a time zone friendly way, in a language friendly way. So don't be bashful. My team of 50, our whole job is to do nothing but support your use of Autodesk platforms. And again, whether that's desktop APIs or cloud APIs. Just some of the people, and you could see some of the people here at our first APS Tuesdays. So Julia's here, Silvio's here, Phil's here, Peter's on vacation, having a good time, Viru. So you can see we've got our business development team all around the world. As we have engineers all around the world, we're here to help. So whether you have business questions or technology questions, or you just need help, or you want advice. Advice could be, how do I grow my business? How do I reach Autodesk customers? Advice could be, hey, which one of these services and APIs should I use for getting at data? How do I deal with large models? I need help with reliability and security. As I tell customers and partners all the time, be quick to reach out, because you're all different. You all have different needs, and we are here to help. Just to make it clear, because it's funny, I've been evangelizing Forge for 7 years, and we changed the name to Autodesk Platform Services. And we should I want you to be clear, Autodesk Platform Services is Forge. It's kind of one of these, long live the king is dead. It is just a name change. So for those of you who've been working with Forge all this time, there is no difference. Platform Services and Forge are the same. It's a branding thing. Microsoft calls their services Azure, which is an abstract name like Forge, and Amazon AWS uses Autodesk Amazon Web Services, which is more descriptive of what they are. So we decided to make the change to the more descriptive naming. Okay, so for those of you who are new to Forge, do recognize it's Lego blocks, it's a number of APIs, it's a number of endpoints that can be put together in many different ways, as a 5-year-old child would do with a box full of loose Lego blocks. It is based on industry standards. So if you're a web developer, a cloud developer, a desktop developer, there will be things here that are quite familiar. .NET APIs, JavaScript, supporting open source frameworks like Node, React, Angular, some cutting edge technologies like graph databases, GraphQL, Most of the APIs are RESTful, REST. Though some are CRUD. Again, if you're a programmer, that makes sense to you. If you're not, it's probably all voodoo. And all you really want to know is industry standard interfaces, which means someone who doesn't really know anything about design and make, doesn't know anything about CAD, can use APS to get data that is valuable to the organization and to the company, to your customers. And it does strike me we should probably stop a sec and find out who you are. So I'm going to ask Julia to jump in here and run a little bit of a poll. So I'm not here guessing who you are. So let us know, are you a software developer? And if most of you are software developers, we should get a little geeky today. If most of you are on the business development or product development side, a product manager, maybe not so geeky. Let's see who you are. Wow, a lot of software developers. 2/3 software developers. We've got a business development manager, a product manager. And I wonder what other is. That's kind of interesting. Okay, we got 100% answered. Wow, that's a shock. Everybody's engaged. I gotta love it. And again, 59% software developers. Now, Julia, is our audience seeing this? Do you have to end the poll or?
Yep, I'll end the poll. And did you see the second question as well? So a lot of folks have experience with APS as well.
Ah, okay. Oh, here's the share results.
Yep. Okay.
I didn't see the second poll, but that's okay. Since most people, I will go pretty fast here. Most people have experience with APS. Okay, so with that, again, digital transformation is really the vision, the direction, the why are you here? Why are we here? It's helping customers take design, make information and integrate it with the rest of their business. Because design and make information, engineering information isn't there to just do engineering and design. It's there to help the business or to help your customers' business. So digital transformation is about tying together data, office data, ERP, collaboration, CRM, and design and make data. I think anybody who's on the engineering design side of things knows design and engineering, design and make information tends to be siloed away in a corner someplace because it's CAD stuff and the rest of the enterprise doesn't know how to deal with it. Somebody in purchasing or finance or senior management, how do I deal with the CAD binary? Well, this is all about getting that design and make information accessible to the enterprise so the business can be improved, top line, bottom line. So again, this is what it's all about. This is the big picture. But at the same time, you'll hear me talk about agile way. You kind of get here one piece at a time. I did want to talk about flow, forma, and fusion for just a sec, because people who follow Autodesk will have heard about it. So let's be clear. Flow, forma, and fusion are Autodesk platforms that are made up of Autodesk end user products, right? So end user products. So forma, we're actually about to release next month, the very first end user product under the Forma platform, which comes from our SpaceMaker acquisition. And you'll see that shortly. Fusion as a platform includes Fusion 360, Fusion Manage, Fusion Team, and more. So there's several products in the Fusion platform already out there already. And Flow is on the media and entertainment side. Which we haven't released a flow-based end user product yet. But we're here to talk API type of platforms. So what's this about? It's about the Autodesk Platform Services is the underlying plumbing, the underlying APIs that Flow, Forma, and Fusion are built upon. And why is that important? That means getting at data, sharing data, creating automations, dashboards, digital twins, integrations get done through this common Autodesk Platform Services APIs. So you know one, you're in a position to kind of leverage them all. This is also, and we'll see if we get to it a little later, if there's interest, the foreshadowing of our cloud information models, for which we've already put one out for Fusion, PIM, Product Information Model. We're soon going to put out the AEC Cloud Information Model. In fact, I think we've got a private beta going at the end of April. And Flow will be later this year. Okay, the Autodesk platform. I do want people to not think about it as just APIs, because it's really about how all these pieces can be used together. That's where the real power is. You've got cloud services, again, our customers-facing services like Docs or Construction Cloud or ShotGrid or Fusion, and our partners' cloud services, right? It's not just us. And when I say second and third party services, that could be Salesforce, that could be some of you if you're an ISV. Includes the desktops, because that's where the data gets made and a lot of it gets maintained. Though at the same time, APS also supports many Autodesk competitors, CAD systems, CAD files, binary files, things of that sort. But also integrating with other desktops from other companies. Dare I say people like Tekla or MicroStation or SolidWorks. And underlying all that is Autodesk Platform Services, which is that set of cloud-based APIs that allow you to pull all this together into an appropriate experience for your users, for your customers. Also, yes, it's about APIs. Now, there's also the App Store. If you're a customer or a customer's customer, should you build something with APS or should you just go buy it? Because it's already in the App Store. And everybody potentially doing development with APS really needs to sit back and go, well, is Autodesk going to build it in the next year? It'd be good to know that, because that may impact how much I invest and if I invest in doing my own development. Has somebody already done it? Can I find it in the App Store? Maybe I should just buy it. And the last piece to this is access and support. We make it very easy. APS, modern cloud, easy access, 5 minutes. You get an account, you get your keys, you're off and away. And we'll talk support a little bit later, but it's as simple as Stack Overflow. It's as simple as email. It's as simple as booking a meeting with an Autodesk business development person or an engineer. I will impress on everybody doing development, talk to us early, talk to us often. Because we want to help. We can prevent you going down blind alleys. We have a view of what's coming, so we can have a discussion with you about what's today, what's tomorrow, and we can help you map out where you're going to make sure your investment has legs and you invest appropriately. We need you. We want you to succeed. And again, that's what my team does. Okay, so the very first thing we usually start with, if you're new to APS, which is not many of you, so I'll do this quick, is APS can take data from any number of design and make CAD files. In this case, the examples are mostly on the AEC side. So SketchUp, IFC, MicroStation, of course, Autodesk files, Revit, DWGs, Max, and so on, and allow you to treat it as data. Literally, you get data and you get in the context of a mesh. So if you want to add some visualization on the 3D side or a drawing on the 2D side, that you can put on a web page. So you want to create a single pane of glass, you want to create a web page, whether it's a viewing thing, a planning, scheduling, costing, ERP integration, whatever it happens to be.
Quick question, Jim.
Yes.
For the audience, do you see Jim when he's talking? Do you see his video? Question to the audience.
Yes, I do.
You can
Okay,
see
perfect.
me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I've spotlighted you now, so everyone should see you in the first position.
Great. Thank you, Phil. Just so people know, Julia and Phil are new to my team. They're kind of the newbies, but they're not that new. They've actually been working with Autodesk for several years. And I'm excited because they bring a lot of fresh energy to the team. Yeah, Okay, again, APS works with lots of different data. Here's some of the formats on the mechanical design manufacturing side. Whether it's Creo, SolidWorks, Siemens NX, Dassault's CATIA, whatever. Of course, Inventor, Revit, Fusion 360, DWGs. We say 60 plus file formats. We're actually up over 70 right now. So, yeah. What customers do. Now, I'm an engineer, so I really get attracted by the what. Dashboards, which is about better decision-making, faster decision-making. We have customers with hundreds of dashboards. They run their business on dashboards. And they use APS to create context, to take the models, to take the drawings, and make them part of dashboards that may be totally custom, or maybe they're using Power BI or Power Automate or kind of whatever. Other big ones, digital twins. This tends to be about operations and maintenance of whether it's machines or buildings. ERP, CRM integration, all kinds of enterprise integration. Includes Autodesk Construction Cloud, BIM 360. And the fourth item is configurators and design automation, which are kind of two different sides of the same thing. We have CAD engines on the cloud, AutoCAD, Revit, Inventor, Max, Civil 3D, that are available as kind of like bots that you can write, a .NET DLL to that API and get it to do what you want it to do. Whether that's publish PDFs every day or every week, or some automation, or some sales experience where you have a customer go in and do a configuration, and maybe it cranks out a PDF and a contract and a Revit family, and maybe an Inventor model to go to the shop floor, a bill of material, whatever. So these are the big four. There are other things people are doing. We see this last 2 years, a lot of activity around prefab, spare parts catalogs is popular with manufacturers, where a big part of their profitability can actually come around spare parts, as well as AR, VR pipelines. But be careful about the what, because it's really not about the what. Remember, we started this conversation. It's about helping customers with their digital transformation. And that's about the why, right? It's helping with better and faster decisions. It's about new products and services that our customers, your customers, or your customers' customers can introduce. Maybe it's around maintenance and facilities. Maybe it's around operations. It's also about fewer difficult decisions. Most companies, at some point, there's an ugly discussion, whether it's internal or it's with the customer. A schedule problem, a cost problem, maybe a sustainability target that's going to get missed. When you have dashboards, when you have automations, when you have integration with enterprise systems, when you have digital twins, you avoid that because you get the right information available early to the right people. So problems can be identified early when they're easy to address, and not late when it's an ugly discussion. What else? Increased safety. I already mentioned sustainability, which has become a bigger and bigger item for a lot of our customers. I laughed 5 years ago when I asked customers about sustainability. It was probably number 5, 6, or 7 on their priority list. Today, for most of our customers, it's number 2. For some customers, it's number 1. And to some degree, sustainability it's kind of accounting. It's seeing what's going on early and often during the design process, and as the manufacturing process gets detailed. So more people can weigh in, and people who are sustainability experts can give input early to make sure better decisions are made early when it's easier to impact, what is going to be the embedded carbon? What is going to be the operating carbon, the amount of energy you used? And in the end, the why, it's about lower cost, it's about increased profits. And in some cases, it's even about growing the top line, actually accelerating the customer's business growth. Now, so again, I'm going to flip here. This is the what. And again, most of us are going to, and I'm going to ask you, what's are you most interested in? Because we can dive in a little deeper. But this is the why. And since most of you are software engineers, don't forget the why. And when somebody comes to you asking you to do a what, make sure you ask them, what's the why? And that'll ensure the time, the effort you put in will be well spent, well invested, and will have a high return, and will help you and your company get ahead, moving toward that digital transformation. Okay, these are the services. These are the primary, kind of the big 7. So data management, moving files around, model derivative, API and viewer. So that's taking any of the 70 file formats and making something you can view, and also getting the data, the metadata, whether you call it attributes, parameters, properties, out. There's the Autodesk Construction Cloud and BIM 360 APIs. There's webhooks, the Fusion Data API. This is actually Autodesk's first cloud information model. And we did Fusion first. It's somewhat a more modest challenge than doing it for AEC. With Fusion, the number of parameters you're dealing with is in the hundreds, versus on the AEC side, it's in the thousands. And that was the first learning point, and it's out there, and we have customers using it, and we're kind of off and away. It was also training wheels for us when it comes to graph databases and GraphQL. We've learned a lot. And we've applied what we've learned to Data Exchange API, which is very much on the AEC side of things, building information models, having data in a shared place where other applications can connect to it. And when I say other applications, Power Automate, yeah, Power BI, yeah, Inventor, yeah, Rhino, yeah. But what else? One of our partners did a Tekla connector. So Tekla to Revit, and I know that's a popular one on the AEC side. So, and looking forward a little bit, we'll soon be putting out, we're working on both an IFC connector and a connector, well, we're calling it the Data Exchange SDK, which will allow you to build your own connectors. And again, design automation, our 4 CAD engines on the cloud that are kind of bots, so you can automate design, whether that's a configurator or something in your sales pipeline, or just some scut work that engineers have to do day in and day out. That is really straightforward, and better to let a bot do it than to have people do it. Now, any solution built with APS is going to use a few of these services, plus a few more services from, let's say, Microsoft Azure or Amazon's AWS, or any of the other web services kind of out there in the world. These are Lego blocks. Any one service doesn't do much of anything. It's about how you put these services together to build what you want to build, to create that flow of data that is step by step toward the customers and the customers' digital transformation. Now, we have over 4,000 monthly active accounts today using APS. So why does that matter? It means reliability, scalability, security. When you invest in using APS, we're going to be there. We're 7 years in. The numbers keep going up, so it's safe technology for you to invest in. The other one is the biggest user of APS in the world is Autodesk. We have over 1,000 engineers, both building it and building on top of it. Again, what does that mean? Security, reliability, capability, safe place to invest. This also goes, if you're on the AEC side of things, we have quite a few partners. I think we're about 250 right now, who are using APS to integrate with the Autodesk Construction Cloud, also called BIM 360, depending on when you joined in. But anyway, bottom line, big ecosystem, even includes system integrators. So the other thing is, you have to make a decision. What do you build? What do you buy? What do you ask someone else to build for you? And just recognize you have those choices. I do believe every partner, every customer needs to have a software architect, systems architect who kind of understands the big picture, understands what you're trying to accomplish, understands this digital transformation journey. has that vision, and understands a lot of the building blocks, a lot of the pieces and how they can fit together. What I call the art of the possible. And that is a big part of what today's about, and why we love to talk to partners, to make sure you understand what's possible, the art of the possible. And then actually, who does the development? You get to choose. Is it somebody in-house? Do you outsource it? Do you hire people? Whatever that may be. So back to, it's about digital transformation. Keep that vision in place. Keep that vision in place for your customers. It's about taking design and make information. And when I say design, I mean design, which may be with Revit or Inventor or Fusion or MicroStation or SolidWorks, and make, which may be about a factory layout, digital twins, machining. It may be about the construction site. It may be about handover. So it's taking all that information and connecting it with the rest of the business. Whether your business is a design business, whether your customers are design side customers, or whether they're make side customers, and you're a manufacturer or you're a construction company. Bringing the data together, getting that data to the right people at the right time so better decisions can be made. Okay, support. I just want to recognize again, most of your developers. We have Stack Overflow. If you don't mind asking a question in public, Stack Overflow is great. You may get a very rapid answer from the community. My engineers manage Stack Overflow. You will get an answer. When you ask a question in Stack Overflow, it goes straight into our case management system. We make sure you get an answer. Now, reality may be you want to ask in private. Maybe it's a proprietary thing, maybe it's because you're being shy. You can just email us, and we'll get to email address in a sec. Literally just email us. And that also dumps in our case management system that we have near 40 engineers manning, and again, around the world, multiple languages. We also have this doctor is in capability. So my engineers and my business development people, we use Calendly. You can literally go in there, see all the people, see what their backgrounds are, and book a meeting with them. Book a one-on-one, hour meeting, have a talk. Again, I can't say enough about talking to us early about what you're trying to do, how you're thinking about going about it. Any kind of question you may have, again, maybe it's security reliability thing. Maybe it's, hey, I can get data 3 different ways, give me some advice on how to do this. Maybe you're going to have some performance challenges because the models are monstrous in size. Book a meeting, talk to us, do it early, so we can help you get off in the right direction. So again, 2 different email addresses if you just want to reach out directly. And I'll tell you, coming out of today, you want to talk because we've whet your appetite, but you still have questions, just drop us an email, right? aps.business or aps.help. aps.business will end up with my business development team. aps.help will end up, it'll drop into our case management system in my engineering team. We have a response commitment of 3 days. Reality is we average about a day and a half. The other thing, if you're in a pinch, you can send an email to aps.help and say, it's an emergency and I need to talk to somebody today. That is okay. I'd rather you do that early than do it late when you're frustrated and your management is frustrated. Talk to us early. Let's prevent emergencies and problems. It's okay to say, I need somebody today. Happy to help. The other thing you should recognize is we do run accelerators. For those of you who want to get face-to-face, if you're building something big and important, come spend a week with us at one of our accelerators. We run 10, 11 of these a year. We run them in all different places around the world. We ran one in Copenhagen last week. We're doing one in Nice, France. In a couple weeks, we're running one in Chicago toward the end of May. We're doing one in Boston in June. I think we got something brewing in India and Japan. So, don't be bashful. You could just do a Google search, Autodesk, APS, Accelerator. You'll find the webpage. But also you want an accelerator near you. Maybe you can't get the travel budget. Drop us an email. Again, aps.business@autodesk.com. Drop us an email. Tell us what you'd like, and we'll try to set it up. I challenge you to ask us for more. You asking us for more makes us better. Don't assume what we can't do. Just ask, really, please. We're here to help you. Again, I have a team of 50 people. The only thing we do is we're here to help you. Okay, one other short thing. We have a boot camp coming up. If you're a software developer and a newbie, or maybe you're not a newbie, but you want to pick on my engineers for a week, we do have a developer boot camp coming up. We run this twice a year. So we've got this coming in just another 2 weeks or so. We generally run it April, May, and then we run another one just before Autodesk University. So the next one will probably be in the September, October timeframe. You basically get us, 24/7 for 4 days. This is a structured learning. If you're a web developer who knows nothing about CAD and nothing about APS, this is for you, because it'll walk you through the basics of getting data out of CAD models and creating a web page that includes a 3D model and context of data or 2D drawings. Quite straightforward. Includes doing basic integrations with BIM 360, Autodesk Construction Cloud. Okay, with this, I have lots and lots of examples. And I think we're going to go back to Julia, who I think is going to help us understand what you want us to spend time on.
Yep, Jim, we have a question, so I think we should cover it before we run the poll. The question is, can you comment on when the new ACC admin APIs will be released to the public?
Yes, and I'll tell you, this is embarrassing, but I need to fall on my sword. We expected it to be released in April this month. About 2 weeks ago, we have a private beta, and one of the largest companies in the world was using the private beta to massively automate thousands and thousands and thousands of projects and users. And we had a performance problem. They almost took our servers down. And it was like, ooh. So we learned from that. So the ACC admin API, I'm sorry to say, has been pushed out into the second half of the year. Now, what's the second half of the year? So that's somewhere between August and January. I will tell you, I'm totally unhappy with that second half of the year statement. We are pushing on the team. One thing is August, which wouldn't be good, but would be better than January. So we are working on this. I want to apologize. There's a number of customers and partners I told it was coming this month. Though I will say, I am glad we learned what we learned due to some of you being private betas to get this right. Yeah. So one other thing, if the admin API is important to you and you'd like to use it today, we have near 50 people using the private beta. We have agreed with the engineering team to take on another 30, 40, 50 customers on that private beta. It will give you full admin API capabilities, creating projects, adding users, removing users. It works. The work that we need to do to before we release it is primarily on the reliability side of things. So you could absolutely build your ACC admin powered integrations today. And frankly, you could put it in production if you're careful about, how large a task you throw at the admin API. While we do what we need to do to ensure we're going to get the reliability. I do know the biggest, probably no surprise, if you want to use the admin API, it's because you have hundreds of thousands of projects, you have hundreds of thousands of users who are moving around projects. So the numbers tend to be big, and we need to be able to handle that. Again, aps.help@autodesk.com if you'd like to join the private beta for the ACC Admin API. And I encourage you to come on in, help us get it right, and get your development done now. So when we've got the back end where we want it, you will be off and away quickly. And with that, survey time, Julia.
Yep. Launching it right now.
So question, are people who are here, are they all seeing this as I see it, or do you have to publish it?
Let's ask the audience. I believe they will see that once we publish it. So for now, the responses are being collected. So it's just us who see that.
So you have a publish button? I don't.
I think you do too. So we end poll and then share results. That's how we share.
Ah, got it. So I'm just, wow. Configurators and automation, dashboards, digital twins. Wow. A little bit of prefab. Oh, Julie, you have to work on your English. Prefabrication.
Yep, sorry for that.
Catalogs. Okay, so configurators, maybe we'll start there. Then we'll go to dashboards. Then some digital twins, then some integration stuff. You want to show that to everybody, Julia, or do you want me to do it?
Yep, I'll do this.
Okay, so everybody, you can see here kind of where we're at. And everybody's hanging in there. We got 24 people, which is great.
Just a quick logistical one. I've added the links for the bootcamp and the accelerators in the chat. So if you're interested in that, you can access the links on the right side directly. And there's also a question for Silvio. I think the question was around the date for Chicago, if you know approximately.
May 22nd, I believe, is Chicago.
Yeah, I was just writing it. It's just push that.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I can't say enough. If you're new to APS and you've never touched it, but you're a web developer, come to the boot camp. If you've got a serious project you want to get done and you want to start off by building a proof of concept really quickly, come to one of these accelerators. The accelerators are face-to-face and they're virtual. So if you can't travel, you can do it virtually. But I can't say enough. Spending a week with my engineers face-to-face, there is nothing like it. You get to know people, you get to build relationships, you get to know people you can call out to in a pinch. If you build cloud-based services, at some point you'll be in a pinch. Whether Azure goes down or AWS goes down, APS, sometimes it goes down, or your own service goes down, and you're sitting there trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And your management's looking over your shoulder going, what in the world is going on? And there's nothing better than knowing a real person you can reach out to give you the confidence you need to answer, questions from your management, from your customers on what's going on. Okay, let's move on. And with that, I am gonna flip here and we're gonna go do configurators first, and then we'll go back to some of the others. Configurators and design automation. And you should know, we have about 50, 60 examples here. So again, if some of you want to take a deeper dive into some of this at a later date, don't be bashful reaching out to us, aps.business@autodesk.com. So again, I have lots of different examples, from laying out floor plans for retail sites, to automating the design of sheds, to simple configurators. Some of these have Inventor backends, some of these have Revit backends, some of these have both. And given all the developers we have here, let's do a video, and then we'll look at a live website. So let's start with ShedMate. You gotta love this Google Maps on the right, laying out the floor plate for your shed. Seeing there's more room, so let me increase the size of the shed. This is Australia. They call it sheds. I call it warehouses. Making changes in the design. Integration with BIM 360, ACC. So as part of this customer configuration experience, it creates a project in BIM 360 that will then have all the assets, which include a Revit model, PDF files. IFC files, DXF files, PDF files, all automatically created. You gotta love it. Revit, IFC, DXF, all saved into the BIM 360 project. All ready for the fabrication team to extract the detailed information they need out of an IFC or a Revit file. Showing the customer their shed. Here's the thing of beauty. Site plan, because you need to get a building permit from the local government. All the details the customer needs to make a purchase, and all the information the fabrication team needs to actually fabricate this steel building. And let's look at this is our classic Inventor-based code sample. You might want to note this URL, inventor-config-demo.autodesk.io. It's a wheel. One of our engineers, Adam Nagy, built this. You can configure wheels, and I'm going to change the wheel size to 18 inches. Let's change the spokes so you can see what's really going on. To 10, I like the red calipers. Let's do an update. There's our update. You can see the number of spokes. I don't know if you noticed the price changed. And it's not just the model, it's a bill of material. So I can price it, so my purchasing folks know what to do, so manufacturing can get started. And how about drawings, which is about saving lots and lots of design hours. And this is for a quote, right? Do you want to put lots and lots of design hours into a quote versus lots and lots of design hours into something, into a new product? And it'll take a sec here, and we'll get drawings generated. There we go. It took a little bit, 19 seconds. I will say with configurators, you always have to understand what's the customer experience you're trying to deliver. Depending on what you're doing, the process could take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, half a minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes. So there's always going to be a discussion that goes on is what's the customer experience? Do you need it to be real time? Does it become you tell a customer, hey, come back in 5 minutes, or you tell a customer, I'll send you the details in an email. But you need to think that through on what the customer experience is and what their timing expectations are. The other thing is all the different downloads. So just for fun, so RFA. So not only did it create Inventor parts and assemblies, it created Revit families, it created the bill of material, and it created drawings, all in an automated way. Okay, and I have lots and lots and lots of these examples. Let me find another fun one. How about let's do both of these. This is by a company, CADcraft, which was actually acquired by one of our channel partners, solution providers, NTI up in the Nordic region. And they have this configurator for balconies. You know, do you want glass? Do you want bars? Do you want aluminum? Do you want steel? You know, you get to make those choices and very quickly see the result. And again, whether we're cranking out a Revit family that an architect could use, or whether cranking out an inventor design that can then go to feed machines to then get fabricated, providing detailed drawings, both for the fabrication and assembly side, or it's for the customer themselves, so they know what they're buying, and they can have that with confidence. And, you know, here's a zip file with, you know, various file types. We're going to open up the inventor model so you can see what was created in an automated way. Pretty cool stuff. So let me bail out of that, and let me show you a highly technical configurator built by our friends at Imaginet. Another partner of ours who's also one of our channel partners, as well as a big user of APS. This is really interesting because what you see there in the center is actually a PDF file. And I think many people know here, a lot of times customers show up with PDF files and it's like, well, what do I do with this? So they're placing the PDF file, they're scaling the PDF file. They're now going to match the actual design experience. They're now adding design data, and you'll see at the top, there's going to be what I call kind of performance data. This is, you're probably going, what the hell is this? It's a drainage system that is under a parking lot. Because when you build a parking lot, you've got all this water that's running off the parking lot that can't go into the soil because you've got asphalt down. So you need to put in a drainage system. Where's all this water going to go? And this configurator was built for advanced drainage systems. And at the end of the day, what's ADS want? Along with giving their customer confidence in a design, and the customer is typically, you know, a civil engineer. So this is a pretty sophisticated customer, somebody who's used to doing all of this using Excel spreadsheets and a lot of handwork over several hours, and can now do this quickly and easily on a web page. They can see performance, they can see sizing, and you'll see here at the end, it'll be drawings, it'll be everything you need for quoting. And for ADS, they get an inventor model ready to go to the shop to get fabricated. I'll let this run through because I think at the end here, when you get to see the drawings and all, is some of the best part. Or the email to the prospective customer with a PDF file and a quote and everything the customer needs to make a decision. And, you know, customers, when you make it this easy, they want to say yes, because if they go to your competitor, it's going to be this long, drawn out, couple-week process to get a quote, and you're going to be a little unsure, are they actually quoting exactly what you want, versus empowering the customer to really design and get exactly what they want with a high degree of confidence. You know, it really is kind of a thing of beauty. And we're almost done here. Here's sends an email, gives a bunch of information, so the customer has that documentation. Here's the drawings. Again, detailed enough for both purchasing and for fabrication and for installation. All done without a human in sight. All done by these bots. In this case, it's an inventor bot with an inventor plugin that is making a lot of this happen. And with that, I'm going to stop on the configurator side because we're going to run out of time. And we are going to go to, how about digital twins? We'll do that next because I think this is a fun one. There are hundreds of people building digital twins using Autodesk, using APS. Let me give you a few examples here. We'll start with a machine, in this case, a jet engine. Again, Peter Braz, one of our engineers, kind of built this example. He built this in 2 days, which is pretty cool. Using, standard, APS technology, I can take it apart, see what's what. But maybe the more fun side is here on the right, engine speed, vibrations. Maybe I want maintenance information, procurement information. Maybe I want to heat map based on issues, or how about average costs? Because I'm a finance person and I want to understand, or a purchasing person, I want to understand where the cost issues are. And when I see what the highest cost items are, let me go get some more information on this place. That part is relatively dumb. What else? Issues. Let me see all the problems. Doesn't really work because this demo's been used way too many times and there's lots and lots of issues on lots and lots of different parts. So I will hide that, and I will hide our heat map. Let me show something different, another type of digital twin. I've got a model, I got a P&ID, a schematic. This could be electrical, plumbing. In this case, it's a P&ID. I'm looking to do some maintenance on this heat exchanger. I click on the heat exchanger, it zooms in. So it's that heat exchanger and not the one next to it. This sample app is using tags, and anybody here is in the plant business, tags are a very popular way to identify things. So whether you're on a schematic view or whether you're on a 3D model view, you can do that. Another example, taking advantage of Google Maps. We did this for a large petrochemical company to show them kind of how to go about doing this. And again, we're going to have a model. Now, again, APS works with lots of different model types. So, this model, I don't know what this thing is. Is it AutoCAD, Plan 3D? Is it PDS, Viva's PDMS? Is it Smart Plan? Is it, it doesn't really matter as far as, we're concerned. APS works with all of this. Maybe I'm just interested in equipment. And maybe, again, I want to, have a heat map based on temperature, or I don't know, maybe pressure. I want real-time data on what? Let's look at this pressure vessel, and here's the real-time data. Straightforward, no big deal, easy to do. Okay, so hopefully that's, let me go just a little more on the digital twin side, because I do think people oversimplify, and we have lots of examples. I do want to be clear with folks. APS helps with that top row, helping get CAD models and delivering that to your web server, and helping with things like the viewer in a browser. But, a digital twin typically includes IoT devices where you'll have Azure or maybe AWS. You're going to have an IoT hub. You're going to have a time series database. Again, feeding your web server. Notice that top row again, where APS and really Autodesk supplies technology. You need to manage these CAD models. So whether that's using BIM 360, ACC, or just Autodesk Docs. Surprising the number of manufacturers using Autodesk Docs as really kind of simple, easy, file management. Again, this could be AWS, their IoT hub, or TimeStream, which is their time series database. Now, there is more to it because it's frequently about operations and maintenance, and you've got some enterprise system. Is it Maximo? Is it SAP? Is it Oracle? Is it some homebrew? Is it Archibus? Is it Space IQ? What is it? This is what a fully formed digital twin looks like. Again, any of you going down this path, we're happy to help. We've helped hundreds of customers with that top row and plugging it into their IoT, into their digital twin that they're building out, helping them make connections with enterprise systems, helping them connect IoT feeds with the models that's coming out of Autodesk Platform Services. Do know Autodesk also has Tandem, which brings some of this together, IoT hub, time series database. It's using APS So that's part of a potential digital twin solution too. Okay, and I'm going to do one more thing, and I'm going to jump to dashboards, and then we're going to finish it up. I want to give an example of what's possible. This is a simple web page you build in a day or two. I have signed in as me, Jim Quanci. All my Autodesk hubs are here. Some of them are BIM 360, some are ACC, some are Fusion Teams hubs. I got all kinds of hubs here. And I've got all kinds of designs. I've got Fusion, I got SolidWorks, I got IFC files, and I got all kinds of stuff going on. In fact, let me open up an IFC file, in this case, a bridge. Again, this is just a web page. I've got parameter data here. Maybe most importantly, I want some properties on maybe this footing, material, IFC data, dimensions. Maybe I need to know how much concrete, whatever that happens to be. Maybe, just look at level 1. What else can I do for dashboards? How about this same bridge? Similar looking bridge, and I've got it hooked up to a timeline. And, what is this Pier 3 foundation? Here's that Pier 3 foundation that's taking place later in the project, or this abutment, right? Here's the abutment. So a very easy visual scheduling. Why don't I, look at a building just for chuckles? Again, simple dashboard, somebody in purchasing, somebody in finance could use. In a minute here, it'll load up data, because frequently it's about the data and the model is just context. Maybe I want some drawing data too. And, maybe I'm interested in structural material because I care about sustainability. Let's see all the cast in place concrete. And let me get some property information on that wall that I can use to do some calculations on sustainability, or maybe it's cost. And I am running out of time at this point. I just want to make the point, there's lots and lots of examples. I'm just going to pull this last one up. Any questions out there? Julia or Phil, anybody sitting out there want to talk about something specific before we run out of time?
For now, no questions in the chat, but if anyone can unmute themselves and ask a question, that would be good.
We are an hour in. You're going to see here an external database connected to a model. So I can do things like show me all the concrete. Here's the concrete. Again, maybe this is sustainability or a cost, or how much concrete do I get delivered today? Here's all that property, all that parameter data that you'd see in a Revit or an IFC file. Here's database data. It's not in the model at all. Concrete, pricing. I always laugh at this. It defaults to, what is it? 100 euros a kilogram, which is absolutely craziness. I'm going to change that to 0.2. And this is data that would come from a costing system, a purchasing system. And I don't know if you noticed, the cost breakdown changed, the cost changed here. So straightforward hooking up data. Now, when it comes to cost control, sustainability, embedded carbon control, this is the classic code sample that people use to make that connections between various data sources and a model. Okay, and that's it. And And I do want to end with, there is another discussion around data that I'm happy to have at some point. And maybe one of these Tuesdays we'll do something around data, or you could reach out directly and say, hey, I want to talk more about APS data and about cloud information models and where Autodesk is going. Jim mentioned AEC cloud information model. That's important to me. Let's talk. We are actively in private beta with a number of partners and customers in this area. So if data is important to you, don't be bashful. In fact, this is where I'm going to end. Again, ask for help, aps.help at autodesk.com works, or aps.business. If you've got a business question you want to reach out, go to our website, attend an accelerator, come to our boot camp, just in 2-3 weeks now. If you're a newbie, this is the place to come to learn the basics quickly with someone side by side helping you through it so you don't get jammed up. And again, you want support, Stack Overflow, Dr. is in. Again, drop us an email. And remember why we're all here. It's about digital transformation. Okay. So time to close shop. Any more questions? And I've overrun a bit, so I'm sorry about that. I need to learn to tune it down a little, but you can tell I'm having too much fun here.
For now, no question, but we got a message that this was beneficial. Thanks. Thanks for coming. Glad to hear that.
Yes, thank you. And some of us would like to hear from you. Reach out if you need some help, you want to chat, you're getting started. Again, as we tell customers in the digital transformation, it's getting the right information to the right people early and often. That's the same for you. Come talk to us, get the right information early and often so you can quickly get results. You can deliver value to your customers, whether they're internal or external. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.